Welcome to Lady Red Crafting. Today, we're going to make a faux leather flower, and we're going to make 4 crafts using that flower. Let's get started with making this flower. For the first step, we're going to go ahead and take a wine cork, and we're going to slice it about 1/4 of an inch in. And for slicing this, I'm using an X-Acto knife. Now I'm going to grab some faux leather from the Dollartree. And I already have a few scrap pieces, so I'm going to start by using those up first. We're going to take a piece of cardboard and cut a petal out. And then I'm going to take that petal and I'm going to flip the faux leather over to the fabric side of the leather. And we're going to go ahead and just trace those flower petals onto the back side. We have 18 petals traced. We're going to go ahead and cut these petals out. So now that all of our petals are cut out, let's grab the toothpicks. That's right, toothpicks. And we're going to cut about 1/4 of an inch off of one side of the toothpicks. We will need 9 to make this flower. So now that we have all of our toothpicks cut, we're going to go ahead and place a strip of hot glue on the back side of the petal. We're going to set that toothpick on top, leaving the pokey side out so that we'll be able to use it later. Next, we're going to add a little bit more hot glue and then put the cloth side face down on top and kind of sandwich in that toothpick. One thing to note is that I only leave about a little less than 1/4 of an inch of the toothpick sticking out of the petal. We don't want a lot of the toothpick, but we want enough that we're going to be able to poke that into the wine cork. Now we're just going to keep repeating this step until we make all 9 petals for our flower. So while we're finishing our flower petals, I'd love to hear from you guys. What are your favorite flowers? My favorite flower is the sunflower. With all of our petals complete, it's time for us to put the flower together. We'll grab our little piece of wine cork and we're going to go ahead and around the outside edge of the wine cork, we're going to stick the petals in using the pokey side of that toothpick. And we're just going to repeat that step until all 9 petals have been inserted into the wine cork. The thing I love about this craft is it's very simple to make, but it looks great and it's so much fun to do. Now that our flower is complete, we can stop right here, but we're going to move on to the next 4 crafts using this flower as the base of all of our crafts. Let's get started with craft number 2. For this craft, I'm using a sign that I found at the Dollartree. I really like this square sign. It already came with the nice beads on top. And so I'm just going to unwrap this, and then on the back side, I'm just going to take out the back piece where it has the words. And we're going to go ahead and set aside the frame and leave that alone. Next, we're going to grab a piece of scrapbooking paper. And you can use any piece of paper that will match your decor. And what I'll do here is we're going to trace on the back side of the scrapbooking paper the perimeter of the sign. Once we've traced that, we'll use our cutting tool and we'll just cut out the square to cover the sign. Now to attach this piece of paper to the sign, you could glue stick this on, but I wanted to do some Mod Podge instead. So I just went ahead and I did a thin coat of Mod Podge over the top of the sign. And I did actually 2 thin coats and let them dry between each step. And I'm going to take an iron and a piece of parchment paper. And we're going to go ahead and put down the piece of scrap paper, put down the piece of parchment paper, and then iron that on just to get a really nice clean finish on that sign. Now it's time to attach the flower. I flip the flower back and forth until I find the direction I want the flower facing, and I put some hot glue on top of the wine cork. And I'm just going to go ahead and press that down and make sure that's nice and secure. Once everything is secure and dry, we're going to put the sign back together. I'm going to flip that piece back into the frame and just close that up. And we are all done. A beautiful wall hanging or door hanger for your decor. Now on to craft number 3. For this craft, we're going to use one of the pots from this 3-pack of clay pots from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to put this pot onto a paintable surface, and using my Waverly paint in the color Mineral, I'm going to cover the outside of the pot. Once we've finished painting the outside of the pot, we'll go ahead and let that dry. And once that's dry, I'm going to paint a little bit more of that paint in the color Mineral on the inside rim of the pot, as you can see here. And this way, if anything is seen, we'll be able to just see that nice mineral color. Now I'm going to take a piece of floral foam that I got at the Dollar Tree and cut it into a square to fit inside the bottom of that pot. That's in and nice and secure. I'm going to grab a skewer and we're going to insert that into the wine cork. And this is going to be our stem of our flower. Next, grab your favorite ribbon and go ahead and tie a basic bow around the stem. This ribbon I just got at the Dollar Tree, and I just like that it's a nice matted color and it goes really well with the mineral and keeps it very neutral and farmhouse style. Go ahead and trim the tails on your bow. For this one, I'm just going to do a quick diagonal cut, but you could also dovetail that if you'd like. Now I'm going to cut the stem so it's not quite as tall as it is. I'm using these garden shears that I got at the Dollar Tree, and it works really well to cut the bamboo skewers. Once that's cut, I'm going to insert that into the floral foam. Now I'm going to grab some Spanish moss that I did get at the dollar store, and we're going to add a little bead of hot glue around the top of that flower foam so that we can put the Spanish moss in and it doesn't move around too much. And don't worry if you have excess Spanish moss. We're going to grab our scissors and just give it a quick little haircut. And now our little happy flower is complete. It's perfect for a quick gift or to sit on a nice shelf and make somebody smile. Craft number 4. For this craft, we're going to start with our flower again and this beautiful frame from the Dollar Tree. We're going to remove the clip that's attached to this frame. So to do that, I'm using a screwdriver and I'm just going to unscrew the clip. We can keep the screw in the clip for another craft later. Now we're going to go ahead and take the flower and we're going to glue that onto our frame. And with this flower, I had used the top part of the cork, so it had a beautiful design on that top part of the cork, and I wanted that to be the center of this flower, so that's what you'll see on that imprint on the cork. You could also maybe paint the corks if you'd like, or do something different in the center, but I'm just going to hot glue that straight onto the frame, and the petal covers the hole, so there's no need to fill anything in. And wow, I love how this turned out. So simple, but so beautiful. On to craft number 5. For this craft, we're going to use the wood stems from the Dollar Tree and a bamboo skewer. Next, we're going to grab our drill bits and match up a drill bit that fits the same diameter of the skewer. Once we've done that, we're going to take our drill and we're going to drill a hole about 1/4 inch deep into that wood stem. And if you don't have a drill, you could use a nail with the same diameter of the bamboo skewer and hammer that into the wood stem and then pull that nail back out. Now we're going to take that bamboo skewer and insert that into our wine cork and then just trim the stem down a little bit to the height that you would like your flower to be. I'm going to go ahead and then insert that into the wood stem And I did not need any hot glue because it fit really nice and tight. To finish this flower, we're going to grab some ribbon. I'm using the color Off-White just to kind of keep with the neutral theme in my house, but you could use any color you'd like to match your decor. And just tie a simple bow around the stem and fluff that bow out. Thank you guys for watching. I hope I inspired you to make something new today. Please hit that like or subscribe button below. It really helps with growing this channel. And until next time, craft more and stress less.